Today we are reading The Sea of Trolls by Nancy Farmer. Norse mythology, Viking history, almost more historical fiction than fantasy. Almost. This takes place in the north of England and in the wilds of Finland and Germany and the North Country. Jack woke before dawn and listened to the cold February wind lash the walls of the house. He sighed. It was going to be another rotten day. "Oh, it's so cold," complained Lucy from the loft. "Can't I have breakfast in bed?" "A princess isn't afraid of a little thing like cold," said Father. "Princesses live in castles," Lucy pointed out. "Ah, but that isn't true of lost princesses." It was far more interesting to be a lost princess than a farmer's brat. "Oh, why do you fill her up with this nonsense?" Mother said. What's the harm in it?" Jack knew Mother had lost 2 babies before he was born, and 2 afterward. She thought she would never have another, but to everyone's surprise, she produced this last perfect child. Right now, she was being carried down the ladder by Father. She was too big for it. Jack could see pain flit across his father's face as he stepped clumsily from one rung to the next. But he also saw joy. Joy that was rarely present when Giles Crookleg looked at his son, Jack. Father had wanted to be a priest, but his family had not been rich enough to pay the entrance fee to the abbey. It was a constant sorrow to the man, for his deformed leg made it hard to do the chores of a farmer. "It's our turn to feed the bard this week," Mother said. "I'll do it," Jack said quickly. "I'm going to explain bards. Yes, they sing songs, but that's not all they do. This is a society where very few people can read or write. Pretty much only the priests or those educated, like the bard, can read or write. So, the way to keep your history straight, you need someone to memorize it all and to tell those tales. The bard is the keeper of your mythology and your history, the keeper of your hero songs. But not only that, bards do magic. Bards know things they're not supposed to know. They've been to far places. We're talking about men and sometimes even women of power." "Sir, I've brought supplies," Jack called at the door of the ancient house. The bard pulled the door open, and his face lit with pleasure. "Jack, what a treat!" That was one of the reasons Jack liked him. He didn't say, "What, you again?" He actually seemed pleased. I suppose you'll be hunting lambs this morning," said the bard. "You can come here when you're finished." Jack wasn't sure he'd heard correctly. No one wanted him around unless they had a job for him. Do you need help, sir?" he inquired politely. "Help? Help, you unsprouted acorn! By Odin's eyebrows, I'm asking you to lunch!" What could the bard possibly want with him?
Doesn't notice his ability, but then he discovers it.
So Jack might have untapped potential.
Maybe because Jack doesn't try so hard.
Maybe he's nicer than the other boys, maybe?
He's very humble because he doesn't think there's anything special about him, but he remembers things that a lot of people don't.
Between the mouthfuls of cheese, bread, and cider that made up their lunch, the bard quizzed Jack about things so ordinary they hardly seemed worth mentioning. Could Jack tell the difference between a lark and a swallow high in the clouds? "Of course I could," Jack said. Everyone could by the way the birds dipped their wings. "Not so," said the bard. "Very few people see beyond the ends of their noses. How do you like to be my apprentice?" Jack gaped at him. His brain couldn't grasp the meaning of it. He'd never heard of a bard's apprentice. But Giles Crookleg wasn't pleased when he learned what the old man wanted. "I'm honored you should consider my son, but there's no proof he's bright." "Oh, I have faith in him." Jack felt a rush of gratitude for the old man and an equal rush of annoyance at his father. "It would be nice if he got an education," Mother said hesitantly. "You always wanted to study with the monks." "Be still," said Father in a voice that allowed no argument. "My son shouldn't try to rise above his station," finished Father. In fact, it's good for him to learn that life is full of disappointments.
Father's basically saying, Jack, he's lesser and shouldn't rise above everybody else because he is what he is and shouldn't be more than that.
Yeah, might there be a bit of resentment that he didn't get his dream and now Jack is just being offered a chance?
I think he sort of wants to prepare Jack for like the harshness of what's actually out there. But I guess with Lucy, he feels like she didn't have to deal with that less.
Because she's pretty, and that's what's important for a girl, right? But then you have the mother, who does magic. The author has clearly put that in, that Lucy's not the only way to be a valuable woman in this society. Mom does want the education, and Mom may not be able to read or write, but she is educated. Now, why is she hard on Lucy? Will Lucy be able to live a life of luxury as the child of a farmer?
No, that's why she doesn't want her to think that.
Right.
She doesn't want disappointment.
Yeah.
Doesn't want disappointment.
Then she's gonna feel like spoiled.
She's going to be spoiled. She's not going to be prepared for the reality of the world. After about a year of being with the bard and learning some magic, learning some stories, learning how to sing, learning how to observe, and how to learn, the bard foresees that the Northmen are coming. Jack and Lucy are taken by Thorgil and Olaf Onebrow, Vikings. There, murmured Jack as Lucy continued to shake. His throat felt ragged from shouting over the storm earlier. Why won't they take me to my castle? They aren't nice. Oh, yes, they are. Bad ones. They're slave traders. Don't tell me that! I don't want to hear it! Then amazingly, Lucy said in a voice that was almost steady, No, those men aren't nice. I know Thorgil hates me and that she'll probably kill me. I'll go to heaven then, won't I? Until it happens. I don't want to think about it. Don't you see? I can't live knowing about it. And Jack understood. All that stood between Lucy and madness was a thin enchantment of belief. Most princesses have adventures before they get to their castles, Jack said. Sometimes awful ones, but a man always comes and rescues them. Yes, always, said Jack. So, they get to the slave market. Lucy is not sold. Jack, however, is about to be sold to these terrifying people called the Picts until Jack thinks and realizes, wait a minute, I am useful. Maybe I can convince him not to sell me.
Bard teachings.
Bingo. When Olaf realizes that Jack is a bard, things change. Olaf realizes, you have the power to make my name live on after I am dead. You are a status symbol. So, Jack, let's be clear, he's a slave, but he's a slave with value, and he will not yet be separated from Lucy.